Albert Einstein, a name synonymous with genius. A scientist whose ideas reshaped our understanding of the universe. But behind his theories and equations was a man of deep curiosity, relentless questioning, and a mind that never stopped exploring. Who was Albert Einstein beyond the numbers and formulas? What drove his passion? And how did his ideas shape the world we live in today? Join us as we take a journey into the mind of one of history's greatest thinkers. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany. As a child, he was different. He didn't speak fluently until the age of 4, leading some to believe he had a learning disability, but his mind was far from ordinary. He was deeply curious about the world around him. As a child, his fascination with a simple magnetic compass sparked a lifelong quest to understand the unseen forces of nature. He would later say, "Something deeply hidden had to be behind things." Despite his brilliance, Einstein struggled in school. He disliked rigid structures and rote learning, often finding himself at odds with traditional education. But outside the classroom, he thrived, devouring books on mathematics and philosophy, nurturing the foundations of his revolutionary ideas. In 1905, while working as a patent clerk in Bern, Switzerland, Einstein was far from the academic elite. But in his free time, he worked obsessively on ideas that would soon turn the scientific world upside down. That year, later called his miracle year, he published four groundbreaking papers that transformed physics forever. One of them introduced the world to special relativity, a theory that redefined space and time. The most famous equation in history, E equals to mc squared, was born from this work. It revealed that mass and energy were interchangeable, setting the foundation for nuclear power and modern physics. But his ideas were radical. Many scientists dismissed them. It would take more than a decade for the world to truly grasp what Einstein had discovered. For years, Einstein's theories remained untested. But in 1919, British astronomer Sir Arthur Eddington conducted an experiment during a total solar eclipse. Eddington observed light bending around the sun, exactly as Einstein had predicted in his general theory of relativity. This proved that gravity could warp spacetime itself. Overnight, Einstein became a global celebrity. Newspapers around the world called him the man who redefined reality. His name was no longer just for scientists, it was now recognized in everyday conversations. In 1921, he was awarded the Nobel Prize not for relativity, but for his work on the photoelectric effect, which laid the foundation for quantum mechanics. But as the world celebrated Einstein, dark clouds were forming over Europe. As the Nazis rose to power in the 1930s, Einstein, a Jewish scientist, became a target. His work was denounced, his books were burned, and he was branded an enemy of the state. In 1933, fearing for his life, Einstein fled Germany. He found refuge in the United States, accepting a position at Princeton University, where he would continue his work for the rest of his life. Though he had always been a pacifist, the horrors of Nazi Germany forced him to reconsider his stance. He began to speak out against fascism, urging the world to take action. But his biggest moral dilemma was yet to come. In 1939, Einstein made a decision that haunted him for the rest of his life. Alongside physicist Leo Szilard, he signed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt warning that Nazi Germany might be developing nuclear weapons. This letter led to the Manhattan Project, the secret U.S. program that built the first atomic bomb. Although Einstein did not work on the bomb itself, he later regretted his role in its creation, saying, "Had I known that the Germans would not succeed in producing an atomic bomb, I would have never lifted a finger." The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945 weighed heavily on his conscience. He spent the rest of his life advocating for peace and nuclear disarmament. Einstein spent his later years searching for a theory of everything, a single equation that could explain all the forces of nature. Though he never found it, his ideas laid the foundation for modern physics, from quantum mechanics to black hole research. Beyond science, Einstein became a symbol of wisdom, curiosity, and intellectual freedom. His quotes continue to inspire millions. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Today, we continue to build on his work, exploring the mysteries of the universe that he first uncovered over a century ago. What do you think about Einstein's achievement? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more fascinating stories.